Hey guys, what's going on? So, as you probably know, E3 2019 is currently going on, and as such, Nintendo is holding a conference or a Nintendo Direct tomorrow. And so, I think that I am going to go ahead real quickly summarize my predictions for the Direct and what I would like to see. Um, to start with the predictions, I'm going to talk about what I don't think we're going to see. I don't think we're going to see Pokemon Sword and Shield. It doesn't make sense to me that they would have a Pokemon conference 2 weeks before E3, a Pokemon Sword and Shield Direct 1 week before E3, and then show more Pokemon stuff at E3. I just don't see why they would go ahead and have stuff about Pokemon leading up to E3, and then have Pokemon is probably going to be in the treehouse, and it's definitely on the show floor. When I say that it's not going to be at E3 throughout this video, I mean in the Direct. Because I'm sure Pokemon Sword and Shield is going to be in like a treehouse presentation. But I don't think it's going to be in the main Direct because they had a Pokemon Direct last week. This one's obvious. Metroid Prime 4 isn't going to be at E3. It's not far enough in development from where they restarted. That's an easy one. But Bayonetta 3 seems like it might be at E3, but at the same time, honestly, it seems like it's going through somewhat of a development crisis, and so I don't think we're going to see it. Now, I think they're going to have, they always have, a release date montage for games. They're going to have, Super Mario Maker 2, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, My Friend Pedro, Dead by Daylight, Crash Team Nitro Fueled, just basically games that are coming out soon that either do have a release date and they just want to show off that it's coming out soon for people who don't know, or that don't have a release date that they're going to announce real quick. The only way I see us seeing Super Mario Maker 2 outside of that is if maybe they have a new course, whether it be DLC or not, that they're going to announce before the game comes out. Now, Luigi's Mansion 3, we know is going to be at E3. It's going to be playable there, and so I don't see why they would have the game be playable, but not show it off somewhat in the Direct. So I definitely think we're going to see Luigi's Mansion 3. I think the boss ghosts are coming back. The portrait ghosts, I'm pretty sure they're going to come back because Luigi's Mansion was more liked by fans than Luigi's Mansion 2 was, and so I think they're going to try and return to form a bit. I think we're getting an October release date because, of course we are. Don't kid yourself. And overall, I'm pretty excited to see what comes out of Luigi's Mansion 3. Now, Shin Megami Tensei 5 was announced 2 years ago, and I've only actually even really known about the Shin Megami Tensei series for a few months now because of Joker. And I think that we're finally going to see more information on it, especially since many people, myself included, probably know more about the Shin Megami Tensei series because of Joker being in Smash. Everyone thinks that Joker being in Smash was for Persona 5, and no matter what, I don't think that Joker is in Smash because of a niche 3DS title and a Persona Musou game. So I think that the reason for that is Shin Megami Tensei 5. I think we're going to see it at E3. I think it's going to have a spring 2020 release date. I think we're going to see Daemon X Machina. I think it's going to get a release date for sometime in September. I think we're going to see Astral Chain because the thing is that honestly, if they just showed us a release date for Daemon X Machina, I think that would be fine because we know what Daemon X Machina really is. We've seen some gameplay of it. There's even a gameplay demo out. Astral Chain has one trailer, and that's it. I don't think that we actually know what this game... I don't think you can really claim, per se, to know what this game really is. And it comes out August 30th. If they don't show it off now, I'm not sure when they're going to show it off. So I think we're going to see some stuff on that, and I think we're going to get a release date for that. I think we're also going to get a release date for Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Um, and honestly, I think that Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening could potentially be our holiday game. Because while 2D Zelda isn't really as popular as 3D Zelda, and it's most likely not going to sell as well as Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild did, Zelda is still a really big series for Nintendo. And yes, so is Animal Crossing, but the thing is that I personally think that Animal Crossing could potentially be delayed. I'm not saying that it 100% is. All I'm saying is that we haven't seen anything on it. And while, yeah, they could just show it, tomorrow and say, yeah, this is coming out in December. At the same time, though, it's giving me major Fire Emblem and Yoshi vibes, where they've announced this game with a title, a placeholder title, might I add, and we haven't seen anything on it since. Again, they could show it off, and just, they could show it off, and yep, there it is, it's releasing in December. But at the same time, though, again, I'm getting flashbacks to Fire Emblem was announced, right, in 2017, with a working title of just Fire Emblem for Nintendo Switch. It was announced for 2018, and then at E3 of 2018, we got a trailer for it saying it was coming out in spring of 2019. And now it's set to come out in July of 2019. I'm not saying the game is delayed. But what I'm saying is that the end of this year is packed full of games, right? They have a game for pretty much every month, like that's exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. On top of that, we haven't seen anything about the game. And on top of that, we have a game in Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening that could also act as a major holiday game. I'm just saying that I honestly believe that Animal Crossing could be delayed till next year. Here's the inevitable part where I talk about Pikmin 4. Yeah, so, there's just not much to say. It's just, I say this every year, right? But I say this every direct. Surely Pikmin 4 is coming out soon, right? Surely that's it's been in development for how long? It has to come out soon. No word on it at all. We don't know. It could be canceled. Who knows? Pikmin 3, everyone thought was canceled for a while, and then one day they're like, yeah, no, it's coming out. So honestly, I think Pikmin 4 is coming this E3, but I've said that for the past 2 or 3 E3s, so take that with a grain of salt. I think we're going to see another Wii U port, because the Switch is getting bigger and bigger every day, with more and more of an install base. And I don't think they're going to waste any money on the Wii U, because they lost sales with the Wii U. Even their biggest series saw like half of what some of their series are getting on Switch, sales-wise. And so I think they're going to keep on porting Wii U games until there are no major Wii U ports left. Right now, the 4 Wii U games that I think are likely to be ported that haven't been ported yet are Wonderful 101, Xenoblade Chronicles X, Wind Waker HD, and Pikmin 3. But I don't think they're going to port Wind Waker HD anytime soon, because I don't think they would want... Well, first off, I think they always want to save their Zelda games for when, they know that people are going to buy them, because they have a new Zelda game coming out soon, right? They're not going to release that at the same time, or even anywhere close. And so I don't think it's going to be Wind Waker HD. I don't think it's going to be Pikmin 3, because, I think Pikmin 4, has to be coming out sometime soon. Maybe they could be like, Pikmin 4 is coming, but also, here's Pikmin 3 to tide you over, which I would love, personally. But that leaves us with Wonderful 101 and Xenoblade Chronicles X. And honestly, if I had to choose between the two, I would say that it's probably too early for another Xenoblade Chronicles game on the Switch. especially considering that we got Xenoblade Chronicles 2 at the end of 2017, and then a major expansion that was so big it was its own game card in 2018. And so honestly, I think that if we're going to see any port, it's going to be Wonderful 101, which personally is the port I'd probably want the most, just because I have Wonderful 101 in plastic wrap, and I have never opened it because I got home with it, and then I remembered that I needed the gamepad. My gamepad is broken. My gamepad has been broken for 2 years now, so I would love to see it on the Switch, personally, and I think that has a good chance of coming. But at the end of the day, I think we're going to see a Wii U port at this E3. So, Nintendo Switch Online is a really good service. A lot of people would have you think it's not a good service, to which I have to say, are you kidding me? I'm not going to get into that now, but the point is that they need something that's going to pull people into getting another year. And so I think they're going to announce SNES Online this E3, because if they at E3 are like, yeah, here's SNES Online, comes out September 13th, which is, I believe, the day that Nintendo Switch Online first started. So it's the first day that people are going to start losing their subscriptions. And so I think that if they announce that now, they'll get people to get subscriptions so they can play SNES Online. Also, there was the data mine a while back, and I don't think they would just have 22 SNES games on there for fun. I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting the SNES games that were in the data mine, all 22 of them. Maybe not at the beginning, but we're definitely going to be getting SNES games sometime, eventually. And I just think that E3 right now is probably the place to announce it, so you get people to get more Nintendo Switch Online. Makes sense to me. This is probably my wildest prediction. I think that it's possible we see a new Donkey Kong Country at this E3, because we know that Retro Studios has been working on something for a while. And yet, we haven't seen it at all. We don't know what it is. And now that they're going to be the ones working on Metroid Prime 4, I feel like they're going to want to get that game out as soon as possible so they can shift focus. And so I think that out of all of Retro's, common games, it'd probably be a new Donkey Kong Country game. And it just feels like it's the right time for a new Donkey Kong Country. The last new Donkey Kong Country was on the Wii U in, I believe, 2014. Could be wrong on the exact date. In fact, hold on. This is what the power of editing's for. Oh wow, look, yeah, it was 2014. Don't ever question me, I'm always right. And yeah, technically Tropical Freeze was ported last year to the Nintendo Switch. I still feel like it's the right time for a new game. So now it's time to move into my forte, Smash DLC. Because as you know, I'm never wrong about Smash characters. So, to echo what I've said before, Erdrick is pretty much confirmed at this point, and I would love if that's wrong, and I'm wrong. Although I'm never wrong, don't question me. But it's looking like Erdrick's next character, and I couldn't care less. If he's the only character at E3 for Nintendo, I'm not gonna care. Like, I'd prefer if they either show one character that's a different character that I actually care about, or they show, Erdrick and someone else. But it's looking like it's probably going to be only Erdrick, which sucks, but I mean, what are you going to do about it? So now we're going to talk about the games I want instead of the games I think are going to be there. Well, actually, there's a bit of crossover, because I really want Pikmin 4. A lot. I really want that game. I also want Luigi's Mansion 3 stuff, which is pretty much confirmed at this point, but specifically, I do personally really want Portrait Ghosts to come back. That's one of my favorite mechanics from the original Luigi's Mansion, which is probably my favorite GameCube game, period. And so when they were cut from Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, I was sort of bummed about that. But I mean, I think they'll probably come back. You can have really cool hotel rooms based on each of them, so I mean, that's a thing. I also do want SNES games. especially since on the leaked list is Demon's Crest, which is my favorite SNES game. And of course, I want Wonderful 101 because I couldn't play it on the Wii U. But to move into the stuff I haven't talked about yet, because this is just stuff I want, not necessarily what I think is going to happen. I want a new Rhythm Heaven game, because I love Rhythm Heaven Fever. Rhythm Heaven's pretty rad, and unfortunately though, the guy who makes it has throat cancer. So the fate of the Rhythm Heaven series is sort of in limbo, but I'm hopeful. I also really want a new Punch-Out! Because Punch-Out! On the Wii is one of the best games of all time, and if you disagree with me, you're objectively wrong. So, for the past, I want to say like 2 years, I've been watching a lot of Microsoft conferences, waiting for them to announce Banjo-Kazooie, and they never do. So, I'm hoping now that maybe Nintendo will announce Banjo-Kazooie and it'll be for the Switch, not necessarily exclusive, but it'll be for the Switch and maybe also the Xbox One. That being said, that's not likely, that's a pipe dream. But I just want Banjo-Kazooie 3 or Banjo 3E, and by the way, yes, there are only 2 Banjo-Kazooie games. I don't know why people think there are 3. There aren't. Moving on. Now we get to the Smash characters I actually want who aren't Erdrick, because I don't want Erdrick, because why in the world would I want Erdrick? Just a little bit salty, it's fine. So, honestly, when we're talking characters I want, it's Doomslayer, Monster Hunter, Banjo-Kazooie, and Scorpion, alright? Those are the characters I want. They're characters from games I really like, and they're cool. However, Monster Hunter isn't likely, I don't think. And so, in her place, any Capcom character, really, not any Capcom character, but there's a lot of Capcom characters I like instead of Monster Hunter, like Phoenix Wright, Leon Kennedy, Firebrand, Frank West. And I'm not saying any of those characters are likely at all. In fact, I don't think any of them are really. But, hey, I just want a Capcom character. So anyways, those are my thoughts on the E3 presentation for Nintendo. What do you think we'll see? Say it down below if you want, I'm not forcing you to.